house getting burnt down. You want to recap on that? You want Marquise to come in? I think Marquise is in the chat as well.
I think he wants to. Yeah. One of the
Well,
most
let me ask you this way: what makes you say he did it, though?
we got into a fight that Monday at my lawyer's office. I have a police report. He threatened me. He tried to hit me, but I ran. He threatened me. He said he was going to have someone come do something. He said, and watch how I get down. He said it. And that Friday, I do believe that was Monday. That Friday, I had to do my deposition. I was taking my piece of school. A Magnum car was following me. I don't know if you remember the Dodge Magnums, and everybody knew back then all of G Unit members rode Dodge Magnums. Um, was following me to Marquis' school. I ditched the car, um, drove drove to Queens and drove to my grandma's house. Mia was already in school. I get to the courthouse. I do my deposition. I come back outside. It was a guy following me, trying to intimidate me to the point where my lawyer was so worried that she would just please be careful. So he was trying to kick me out the house and he couldn't get me out the house. And that's another thing where he says, like, oh, he went to Suffolk County. They gave me an eviction, but I took it to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court allowed me to stay. So he couldn't get me out the house at the time. And then his lawyer and I have in my deposition papers, which once I started doing my YouTube channel, I could be able to side by side and bring up stuff. His lawyer actually asked me where was my evidence, and that was the first part of the house to burn down. I don't think that was a coincidence.
Right. Who's on the house at the time when it got set on fire?
It was. That's another thing. He tried to create the narrative. It was me, my boyfriend. No man lived with me in that house. And I will repeat, no man lived with me in that house. No man, except for Marquise, and he wasn't a man at the time. He was a child. It was me, my daughter, Marquise, a family friend, and she had gotten into an argument with her husband. So it was her and her son, and my youngest sister. My mom had passed away, so I had custody of my youngest sister.
How old was your children?
Well, he's probably about 12. Mia probably about maybe 16, 17.
So those are minors. We had 2 minors, teenager, 3 minors, was 4 minors. Wait a minute.
It
You
was
said
the minors was Marquise, my daughter, my youngest sister, and yeah, I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, it was 4 minors.
do you think it was a move to try to scare you or try to get rid of you? What do you deep down, like, what do you think the motive was behind to really get rid of you or to scare you out of the house? Honestly speaking,
I think it was to kill us because the time it wasn't like it happened when the kids were in school. Maybe I was there by myself, or it happened the hours you're sleeping. No one's up. It was still dark outside to the point where when I heard the glass shatter, because what happened was Marquise was sick that day. Even though I was going to take him to school, like I said, the car was following me, but he was sick. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to ditch this car. I don't feel safe taking him to school, but I'm going to take him to my grandma's house. So Marquise was sick that day. I could not sleep. And that's why I said, I don't want to get all holy roll on everybody, but that's when I say, if you don't know God is real, I feel sorry for you. Because I could not sleep. At the time, I was sleeping downstairs in the guest room. Everyone else was upstairs. I waited. Like I said, a close family friend, her husband, and they got into an argument. So I waited for her. I slept on the couch in the family room. I brought her in the house, set her upstairs, and I stayed in the guest room downstairs. I could not sleep. I kept waking up. And so I said, you know what? I said, Marquise, I said, let me go check on him because Marquise had a habit of throwing up in his sleep. So I said, you know what? let me check on him. I was going to just check on him, and then I ended up getting into bed with him. So let me just keep, because he was kept coughing. So I was like, I get scared he's gonna throw up in his sleep, and choke. Marquise's coughing kept me from being in a deep sleep, but I still was concerned about what was going on. Like I said, people were following me. They were at the courthouse, so I was concerned. But I couldn't quite get into a deep sleep. So Marquise's bedroom was in front of the house. So once I heard the glass shatter, I went to the front of the house, and it was pitch dark. I couldn't see anything. So just in that second, I came from Marquise's room to the top of the stairs. I went down maybe 3 steps, and the flames just shot up to the ceiling. It was just, we couldn't even make it downstairs.
So you're the first person that's seen the fire. What I'm getting from this, right?
I heard the glass shatter. So my daughter said, she said she thought I broke something because all she heard was me cursing. But for some reason, I was so enraged. I was like, this send somebody to burn the house down. So my daughter said she just heard glass and me cursing. So she just assumed that I dropped the glass or something. And I just kicked into action. I just got everybody out their rooms. We had like a little bonus room upstairs, like we had like a couch and a television and stuff. We couldn't go that way, so then we go to my sister's bedroom. So my sister's bedroom had like a little awning, like where the backyard and the pool was. So I kicked out the screen so we could jump down to the awning to jump out. So I saw a man there. So I got a little hesitant. I was like, oh my gosh, what if he's coming to finish us off? And it happened to be an off-duty police officer.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so he was already on the phone with 911. He said so later on I found out he saw the smoke, and he was going to get his daughter from, like, I think he said she was at a hotel. You know how they have prom parties at a hotel, and he said the highway, whichever way he takes, it didn't take him that way. He saw the smoke, came up the driveway, and saved our lives.
Y'all got out from the downstairs or the upstairs? From upstairs window?
We couldn't make it downstairs. I said, like, I got to the 4th step, and the flames engulfed. Like, it just shot. Like, literally, it looked like a movie. Like, I can't explain. Like, it just like it just went from the floor to the ceiling. So we couldn't make it downstairs.
So what did you do? You jumped out the windows?
Yeah, we jumped out the window out of my sister's. My sister, where her bedroom was towards the back of the house. So she had an awning, like, from the sliding door. So we jumped down from her window to the awning to the floor. But the off-duty police officer was there to break our fall. But I have a police report that he threatened me. I have all of that. Yeah, I never changed my story. From the 911 call, the man asked me who did it to me. I said my story never changed. It never changed.